And disc golf are sports increasing in popularity, and Arp ISD is expanding its facilities. KLTV7's April Peardon has more tonight on what started as a school project that has now become something everyone can enjoy.
Arp ISD is opening up their facilities for some fan-favorite sports.
Pickleball court and a disc golf course.
Shannon Arrington, Arp ISD superintendent, says it all started with a project their National Honor Society students were working on during the school year.
We host a blood donation drive every year, and they raised enough that impacted like nearly 400 lives. Carter Blood Care awarded the kids a $500 grant.
And with help from community sponsors, raising $1,200 in total, they chose to reinvest the funds into a community engagement initiative.
It enhances community space. We're taking advantage of using our facilities when students are not here.
Such as enjoying a game of pickleball.
It's really a fast-growing sport.
According to the Sports and Fitness Industry Association, it has seen a 311% increase in participants over the past 3 years.
People of all ages and skill levels can enjoy it.
And also disc golf. According to the Disc Golf Growth Report, 3.2 courses were installed per day in 2024, which for small rural cities like Arp, it's sports like these that bring more people in.
It gives them an opportunity to come out and have fun and enjoy what we have to offer.
Mike Alsamora,
We're pumped up.
communications coordinator for Arp ISD, hopes it'll bring more attraction.
You don't have to be from ARP or involved in any way with our school district to come and play pickleball here or play disc golf here.
Grab a paddle or a disc and you might find yourself enjoying these new facilities. April Peardon, KLTV 7 News.
And the pickleball court, as you saw there, is now open to the public, while the disc golf course will open sometime in the next couple of weeks.